And then another one, a bit like I Am Alive, that like people go, what is that game? Why is it on your list? Dwarf Romantic. I play a lot of games when I'm judging games for a BAFTA, yeah. And I thought, what's this game? What's this game? Yeah. And I think it's probably one of the greatest puzzle games ever. Second best to Tetris. I love this game, yeah. You're kind of building and constructing cities but getting a number of different tiles and blocks to place down. And it's kind of like tense but therapeutic, super non-violent. Yeah, I think there's a board game version of it now as well. But I think if you haven't seen it or anything about it, just have a look at it online. I think you can pick it up really cheap, and I highly recommend it. It's I must have spent literally days of time playing this game. Yeah, it's I had it on my Steam Deck. It was absolutely great. Really, really well realised. And then we talked about this the other week. Another great weird puzzle experience for somewhat people like us. The Exit 8 by Kotaki Create, yeah. And this is the trailer for the film. It's been out in Asia, and it's coming out next month. And this explains brilliantly what the game is and looks amazingly like the game.
毎日ぎゅうぎゅう詰めの電車乗って会社行って同じこと繰り返してそっちの方が地獄みたいでそっちの方が地獄みたいでそっちの方が地獄みたいでそっちの方が地獄すいません8番出口ってどこですかご案内家を見つけたらすぐに引き返すこといえ家が見つからなかったら引き返さないこと増えた家を見逃さないこと引き返す迷われてますなんかやましいことあったりして悪いことしたから出られないとかですかね
And so, like, it's that is the game, explained brilliantly, and it's an epic example of perfect scale execution. Yeah, because literally, it's just a couple of corridors, one long corridor, and yeah, you'll go down it, and like the trailer for the movie version showed you. Sometimes something really, really obvious, and you go, "Whoa, I'm turning back." And other times you go down. And you go, I cannot spot anything. It looks absolutely fine, but I have this terrible feeling something is not right. And should I go forward or back? Well, I don't know what it is. I've got no real reason to go back, so I'll go forward. And you should have gone back. Do you know what I mean? And you have this incredibly unnerving experience. Yeah, and you could make that game, or a game like that, or a game with that scale. So could I, or a small team could, yeah. And so it's a really, really kind of promising kind of thing to look at. And that's why it's on our top list. And then for similar reasons, Planet Craft by Midget Games in France, yeah, from 2024. Again, what I like about this game, it's an attainable epic, yeah. You land on the planet, you have no resources, you collect the resources from your crashed spaceship, and you basically start terraforming the world to bring life back. And it's kind of grueling. It takes quite a while, and you'll be traipsing around a desert for ages. And things will slowly start getting better. But it's not delivered at a kind of super AAA level. It's delivered in a kind of like an indie plus level, yeah. But the moment the first drop of rain from the first clouds from the first bit of terraforming I had done hit the sand of the desert I was in, I actually shed a tear. Do you know what I mean? The sense of achievement is incredible. And so for that reason, a bit like the Exit 8, it's a game that's really, really worth looking at. Really worth looking at, because you could make something of comparable size and scale, or at least with comparable mechanics. And then honourable mentions that then did get turned into the list. And this has got my son twisted my arm and forced this one in. The Blueprints, but just because by a Doggo Bomb, which is an incredible puzzler where it's hard to describe. You're trying to get across a mansion to the end room, but you almost have to kind of build your route by selecting the correct room, and each room may or may help or hinder your path to the end room. And so it's this kind of really weird, kind of psychological exploration, kind of puzzle game. And it's got really rave reviews, yeah. And again, we're on this kind of similar trend with some of these, yeah. Again, you could come up with a similar idea of similar scale and deliver a demo of something like that, yeah. So really great games are possible at a number of different scales. And then another honourable mention that made it onto the list by Ad Hoc Studios, yeah, Dispatch, which it's like the grand descendant of a Telltale game. If you've seen the TV show or read the comic Invincible, the comic by Robert Kirkman, who did The Walking Dead, Invincible is this big superhero world that he created, and then they turned it into a TV show for Amazon. Really delivered it really well as well. And if you turn that into a really great game, that is Dispatch. It's very similar feel, kind of similar tone, but some really good gameplay blended into the interactive narrative, yeah. So I highly recommend that game as well. And then Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 by Sandform last year, number 96. I just think it's an incredible, large scale indie game by a team working often remotely, coming together and making something of such ambition, very unique kind of character nature to it, the kind of graphic style of it. Really good experience, and it's the ultimate kind of end of what I think what an indie dev can achieve, yeah. And really the game I keep coming back to this year. And then at 97, and I've broken the rule twice, yeah, I've had 3 Resident Evils in the top 100. The new Resident Evil Requiem by Capcom is just, look at the reviews. It's just brilliant. And I haven't finished it yet. So you could say, don't put it in your top 100 if you haven't finished it, because second half might be rubbish. But so far, it is just incredibly brilliant at delivering the kind of powerless scares and fear and trepidation of some of the best Resident Evils, and some of the incredible, impactful, crunchy fighting of Resident Evil 4, yeah? And in terms of high production value delivery, I just think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, okay? And so, you might notice that that's 97, yeah? And we've actually just had the 97 best games ever, okay? That may be because I miscounted slightly, but it also gives us a chance, like, because I listened to all the things on the Discord, and Jan had some views on some of the things, and so we have 3 slots left, 1, 2, and 3, for games that can go in, like, and I'm gonna stop sharing, and I appreciate it's been a long journey, but we've got through so much stuff. We've got through 100 incredible experiences, yeah, throughout that have taken us from the very first game to a game that came out a couple of weeks ago, yeah. And we have 3 slots left because I thought, shall we have a Dragon Age? Should we have a Dragon Age on there? Shall we? I'm not sure. You know, shall we have another? Shall we have Forza? I thought, should we have Forza on there? I can't decide about that. And then I thought, I broke my rule with Resident Evil. Would I have another Kojima game on there? Again, I couldn't quite decide. So, before we go online and turn it into a finished module, yeah, that people can study, there are 3 slots that, as a group, as a community, Jan and the team and the director who's offshot up here, and you as members of the IVGC, and we can vote or get some views, or I just listen to any kind of great suggestions, and then we will have our 100 games for a designer to really, really have a good look at, which will strengthen their design expertise and cultural understanding of the history of video games. Okay? And so that's it from me tonight. I realised it was a lot of information, but there's so much cool stuff, yeah, so many great games. Okay, so thanks everybody. Put your suggestions on the Discord, and we will fill in those last 3 slots, and we'll come back and finish it off, put it online, and that will be our next big teaching module. Okay?